Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of April 2017. My name is Karen Harding and I'm a criminal defence lawyer from Auckland, New Zealand. I've been asked to present to you a paper that I've previously prepared on the 10th of December 2011. It's a research paper that was presented in a master's degree at the Auckland University. The paper is called A Community Justice Model for Otara, Therapeutic Jurisprudence in Action, a Case for a Community Court in Otara. Just starting with the abstract which I'm going to read to you. The table of contents is set out with an introduction. Section 2 is the state of the criminal justice system with 3 subsections: a system under stress, subsection B, underlying social problems that impact on the justice system, and a subsection I, the impact of substance abuse on the justice system, subsection 3, the problem of recidivism, and subsection 1 of that, high rates of imprisonment. Chapter 3 is social needs and crime in Otara. Chapter A, social issues in Manukau. Then there's 4 subsections. Section 1 is a snapshot of the issues in Manukau. 2, the issues facing Maori in Manukau. 3, a brown underclass developing in New Zealand. Section 4, population issues in Manukau. Subsection B of Section 3 is Otara, issues for the future, and there's 4 subsections. Section 1, gangs and crime in Otara. 2, Otara Neighbourhood Policing Unit. 3, the need to effectively deal with crime and violence in the home in Otara. 4, lesson to be learnt from the British riots. Subsection C, overloaded Manukau District Court. Then Section 4 is new tools in the Justice Toolbox. Section A, new jurisprudence and approaches. Section 4 is then followed by Section 5, Therapeutic Jurisprudence. Section A, the Therapeutic Jurisprudence approach to designing legal processes. Section 6, Community Justice, which is divided up into 2 sub-chapters. The first chapter A, Community Prosecutions. Chapter B, Community Courts. Subsection 1, the Principles of Community Justice. Section 2, Example of a Neighbourhood Justice Centre. Section 7, Integrated Legal Service Delivery Systems. Chapter A, the Holistic Lawyer, and then there's 3 subsections. Section 1, Building Partnerships with Social Service Providers. That's under the chapter of Holistic Lawyer. Subchapter 2, Broader Range of Skills Provided. Subsection 3, a collaborative team approach within firms to achieve holistic sentencing outcomes. Subsection Chapter B, Public Defenders as Holistic Service Providers. Subsection 1, Examples of Holistic Public Service Defence Services. And subsection 2, a collaborative team approach and community outreach. Section C, Non-Profit Law Models. And the final chapter, 8, has 8 subsections to it, and it's the conclusion, a community justice solution for Otara, and this is a system that I designed. And Section A is the relevance of the new developments in New Zealand. The proposed Otara Justice Centre is in Chapter B, with a subsection 1, a multicultural courthouse experience to address cultural needs. The next Chapter C, a board court jurisdiction with innovative courtrooms, and a subsection of that is the use of new specialist courtrooms in Otara. And Section D, an integrated services model required for the Otara Community Court. Section E, servicing the legal needs of Otara, an integrated public community law centre. F, not-for-profit private legal services for Otara residents. And G, expanding consortiums to integrate legal and social services. So the abstract for this research paper and the design of the community court model that I prepared is as follows. The development internationally of new approaches to the practice of law, such as therapeutic jurisprudence, holistic justice, community justice, and problem-solving justice, exercised through problem-solving courts using integrated service delivery systems, is changing the face of traditional courts and the nature of legal practice within law firms and public defender services. Therapeutic jurisprudence is a broad tool that can be utilised to evaluate how current processes impact on court participants and communities. This research paper, which is this one, considers how these new tools in the Justice Toolbox can be utilised in the New Zealand criminal law context to be applied at a community level to meet the justice and social needs of Otara and South Auckland and high area of crime and social deprivation. The paper starts with a review of the current state of the New Zealand justice system, then reviews the impact of crime on a local area to establish the social and legal needs of the Otara community. The paper then reviews how community justice approaches have been used overseas to clean up other crime-plagued communities, applying new innovative techniques to hold offenders accountable, to reduce recidivism and manage the reintegration of returning parolees. The paper also reviews the transformation occurring in legal practices where a holistic approach is incorporated into defender offices, with firms to deliver legal services with wraparound social services to clients. The paper concludes with a vision for the Otara Community Court and Justice Centre, with specialist problem-solving courtrooms to deliver justice in a more culturally appropriate and meaningful manner that engages the community and holds offenders accountable, applying the principles of therapeutic jurisprudence and holistic justice, providing wraparound social services for court participants and their families. The Justice Centre could then actively set out to address the underlying problems that contribute to offending and to be a resource for the community to meet currently unmet legal and social needs. This vision, which is my vision, is supplemented by expanding the Community Law Centre with public defenders, collaboration with Maori service providing consortiums, and developing non-for-profit private law firms to service court participants, their family and the community, applying a holistic, integrated approach that is whanau-centric. Thank you. This was Karen Harding. That was the abstract. I will break the paper down into some subparts. The first section, which I will do here in the introduction. So this paper reviews the current state of the New Zealand justice system. It concludes that there are serious systemic problems that require reform. The current structure of the justice system appears to discriminate against Maori. This has flow-on effects of overloading courts and prisons. Our justice system produces recidivist offenders and results in the intergenerational transmission of offending patterns to children. It operates at a huge cost, both in terms of financial expenditure and social consequences. There has been a lot of faith in our system that it can deliver justice. The fundamental issue underlying recidivism is that current processes do not have a significant focus on rehabilitation and ignores the family and community dynamic. Poverty, addiction, and mental health issues are underlying issues that impact on the justice system. In many instances, imprisoning low-risk offenders achieves nothing but a prison capacity crisis and a growing fiscal deficit. We need a new approach to justice that is fiscally responsible, that engages the community, increases perceptions of fairness and compliance with court orders, and reduces recidivism. We need, which is my vision, community courts that deliver community justice adapted to meet the needs of each community. Such courts are supported by neighbourhood policing and community prosecution teams, defenders seeking problem-solving outcomes, serviced by integrated service delivery systems that deliver legal and social services to the community in a holistic manner. The introduction of integrated service systems would be a paradigm shift for New Zealand, applying as an underlying tool therapeutic jurisprudence to design and enhance the legal processes and the behaviour of legal actors. Therapeutic jurisprudence is the lens to look through to find better pathways to justice. To be adapted successfully in New Zealand, partnerships need to be set up with other governmental and non-governmental agencies, social service providers, Maori, iwi, local schools and community leaders to collaborate and to create new community-based solutions. My vision for the Otara Justice Centre aims to tackle offending that affects the quality of life in Otara and will hold offenders accountable in that local community. And I can of course design other centres to fit with other communities by designing it to fit them, and this was a project that I did in 2011 based on the research then. I hope you found that information useful. This was the paper, and I read out to you the contents page there. So that's the contents page, and then we've just been talking about here, which was the introduction, which is chapter 1. Then I'll go on and brief you on the other 7 chapters. Thank you.